So congratulations to everyone on Scared Money.
There we go. We have last minute Hunter JJX's team. He is playing with Floppy. So two great players, right? Both have had their moments, and they're up in this Slayer. Oh, that rocket just barely gets him. I'm gonna see if I can find what the score is.
He's tied up though, and he's also, this team last minute, it's Hunter JJX, Floppy, Black Halo God, and Betts. I'm not too familiar with Betts, but the other three players, these guys, very, very talented, and it's awesome to see Hunter JJX kind of hopping on board on Halo 5 again, as he grinds Halo 3. He's a phenomenal Halo 3 player, and so we're gonna see what he's able to do here on Halo 5, as he's been putting in the grind and streaming. I've been watching. Just coming in with his team. 1 kill lead right here and collapsing confidently. It doesn't seem like anyone's really able to pick him off. Spots a sniper. That's going to be a key slay for his team if they can kind of isolate that sniper and make sure he doesn't rotate away and reposition himself so he can get more slays.
And look at that. That's like the definition of delaying over slaying right there. If Hunter could have pushed forward, try to get a kill and trade out and get themselves that much closer to 50, instead he delays for so long until they have the opportunity for the entire team to come in and collapse. And I think that's a large part of why they're going to win this second game. Rising 8 is the team that they're playing against, and Rising 8 won the first game. So this is an important game for them to win, and Hunter JJX does it with a well-placed nade. They're going to tie it up 1-1. And look at that. I love seeing Black Halo God playing Halo 5 again. I used to see him in matchmaking occasionally. It's great to see him playing the game. All these guys, I love how some players are just coming back out and playing more and more and more. And we're just seeing this team of just some classic players like Hunter JJX, Black Halo God, Floppy. They're working well together, going up against these grinders, man. These guys from Rising 8, you just constantly see them playing this game. They're trying desperately to improve and get themselves ready for Halo Infinite.
Right, and actually, do you know who's on that squad? I wasn't able to see it now we're looking on the stream.
So that's going to be Lyrico, Airway, Nikolai, and then I'm having trouble remembering.
Is it Scholastica, or is that a different?
It could be Scholastica. It could be. I definitely, Hunter JJX putting his webcam in the exact wrong spot as we see him checking out his phone.
Sensors. That's so.
Sensor,
Airway, Lyrico,
yeah. I don't know how I forget
Sensor.
I think Sensors, to me, he is like, well, I was going to say he's the most impressive. I think between him and Nikolai, I'm most impressed by those two on that roster. But you definitely see those guys, man. They're putting in the time, and that's what's so important about this downtime between Halo Infinite and Halo 5. This is your time to improve and to get caught up and to be ready to make that initial push come Halo Infinite. And these guys from Rising 8, they're really showing that they're putting that time in now to get themselves prepared as we're moving into, I believe, our shared favorite Strongholds map, Plaza.
Love it. So we want to see which team's going to control this camo, if they're as well as the shotgun and the combo. Those three items on the map are so important to control and keep track of, and as well as the rotations. Are they going to be ready for rotating into yard when they're being spawn trap blue? Are we're going to see teams aggressively push out of blue and just headbutt the nest spawn trap? That can also be a possibility. Hopping on board here, seeing how Hunter JJX is going to play for this camo and opting to actually play bottom mid and maybe get a slay here and trusting his teammates. He does get a good trade here. Not sure what happened to the camo, but we do see Rising 8 trying to get in bottom mid early on here and get a cap. They get taken down. We'll see if Hunter JJX checks for this shotgun. I love it. Just as we say it, boom, he's checking the shotgun. Maybe he's calling out for that combo. Another teammate can come in and grab that later. But either way, he is ready for the blue push if it possibly comes in. But he gets hit from behind. Doing a good job here milking. Does get taken down. And Floppy, if he can live here with this camo, this will be huge, Gary. This is a big 1v1.
They can't do it, and that's actually kind of devastating to this last minute roster. Now they're all spawning blue. They have to find this kill on Nest before they get it. Not able to do so. They're going to be losing bottom mid at the same time. We see all the kills going in favor of Rising 8, and that's why the LR control is so important. It's where when you're in this spot, right, when you're trying to spawn up and get into hills and contest, it's so hard to do so from blue. It takes more time. You have less cover. You have less options, and that's why we really value those LR spawns.
Yeah, plus the freaking LR is in there. Zoom in one shot, guys, a half shot. You gotta love it. It's a very annoying weapon to have to fight against. And we see they're triple stacking all 4 players here. I'm not sure this might work out. I like that he's trying to, we see Hunter trying to be aggressive here and separate from that loop and take more of a middle route. Maybe we could have seen one of these players play the blue lane and go flowers, but you know what? They're making it happen and they're controlling this area. We do need to see a push here as we are a bit away from the camo. We're going to see if last minute can make a play here for the nest from the loop.
Oh, that's
maybe
not a
see
good
someone,
sign.
yeah, maybe he's changing his sense or something. That's not good. Hopefully he can figure it out, but they're making a good push here. Last minute jumping into the basement, to the pit. Hill getting this arm, bottom mid, and wrapping around through for the camo as it's going to drop here in a few seconds.
And there we go. Kill is going in favor last minute, and they have the control, right? And it's just a question of how soon can they get the trip cap. Floppy not able to get to that camouflage in time to grab it, but gets a back smack on it. So they have the time for the next camouflage. They're starting to push into the trip cap. They have a player blocking the LR. This is about as perfect of a position you can be in for this last minute roster. Unfortunately for them, they're getting pushed out, and Hunter JJX just unfortunately couldn't hit that last shot on that player at glass. If he did hit that shot, he would have been in a great position here at top gold to start applying pressure to yard. But now they already have a player that's leaked out, but Kill's still going in favor. And I love this duo of Hunter JJX and Floppy. Floppy is one of my favorite professional players, has such a great attitude, and I honestly just love being around the guy. He makes you infectiously happy, and it's like I love seeing him playing with Hunter JJX.
Yeah, great guys, both of them right here. And again, this play that we've seen over and over again, right, of kind of baiting the push from the blue lane into yard when you have the shotgun, as the rest of your team is controlling the loop and the nest. You know they're going to be spawning in that hotel, the blue ramp area, cafe, and we've seen that play over and over and over again. Very intelligent play and great challenge there. Unfortunately, he gets met with the shotgun, and that player is living. We'll see, you know, Nikolai is going to be maybe a thorn here on the side as he's controlling the shotgun in the loop side. And we're going to see if they can, if last minute here can work together. They're going to rotate into the yard and see if they can trade this hill, as they're probably going to be losing nest here. Unfortunately, we lose that rotation. We are getting splits here on the loop, and they're being trip capped. This is where we tend to see, you know, it's a good idea to go for the yard typically. We're going to see this right now as everyone is aware of this now. Everyone knows that yard is where to be at. So with shotgun coming in to stop the party.
Oh my, shotgun, man. He just came around that corner. Oh, man, it's like a horror movie. A little bit of a jump scare right there with the shotgun.
That was the place to be, you know? Just gotta go in.
He knew where to go. He said, I gotta go fast. Gets in there, and you know, he was aware though. And it's so important that players don't just thrust slide into a spot, not being aware of where they could potentially be. He had that shotgun aimed at the exact right spot. He did what was necessary, and now we're seeing a nasty trip cap in effect for Rising 8. And it's just, we're seeing a bit of the meat grinder effect where they're just able to completely control the middle half of the map. And that's going to come down to Hunter JJX to win a couple fights. They're in to contest. He needs to win this one. He's not able to do so. His team wasn't there to help, and they're going to keep the pressure on. They're able to grab Nest at the same time, though. So Hunter JJX doing a great job at distracting over at the yard to pull resources back from Rising 8 so that they can get a home base. And then if he did win that pivotal fight, then they would have a 2-cap and they could go from there. So honestly, even though it doesn't work out in the favor of Hunter JJX, I love the play and I love the thought process as he finds a double kill. And more players from this Rising 8 roster are dropping. Can they stop the bottom mid? And the stop that they do, man, it just feels as if last minute it's just constantly knocking on the door, but can't quite get it to open.
Right, that was so close, but as I say, almost doesn't count. That was 2 caps that almost went in their favor to stop that trip cap, and they're back on the trip cap again as Rising 8 is just on top, or on top of it, excuse me.
What a spawn, dude.
Wow, yeah, so that means, you know, that's a clue, right? If you're getting that kind of spawn, like, we know that Rising 8's probably just spread out all over the place, you know, kind of influencing a ton of stuff all at once. We're gonna see they can do anything. They have until about 97 to get in a hill and try to stop the bleeding, but that looks like, yeah, it looks like it's going to be it there with that trip cap in effect.
It was a strong start for last minute, but then it seemed as if their motor just ran out of gas. It petered out, and they couldn't quite get out of that trip cap for so long, man. It was devastating how long they were in that trip cap. And it really affected them. And now it comes down to the mental state. How do you reprocess? How do you make sure you put that one behind you as you go into your next game? And I want to see, come on, Hunter JJX is the one player that isn't concerned about who went positive and who went negative.
He's checking his Twitter, you know.
He doesn't want to let us know. But yeah, I mean, no problems. I was just curious as to what those slaying numbers were.
I mean, it definitely looked like it was going to go in last minute's, you know, pocket in the first half of the game, but we know Halo 5 can be very snowbally, and Rising 8 just did an incredible job bouncing back, controlling the weapons, getting control of some of those camos. The shotgun plays, oh my goodness, the soaring shotgun to the body was probably my favorite play. So we're going to be hopping on here with Oddball Fissure, and this one plays really interestingly. You know, you have that overshield in the bottom mid of the map. You have rotations. That's really like key to this, and making sure you play this ball. You're not ever giving up free ball time because the bases are pretty big. They're elongated. If you die in the center of the base or anywhere with that ball, it doesn't get played. It's so easy for the opposite team to quickly get a setup and just milk 30, 40, 60 seconds straight away on your team.
Yeah, and here we go into our next game. Oddball on Fissure, overshield going to be so important. And there we go. I just got word that we have another caster joining us, Laz. It's going to be, why not, the man, the people's champion. He reminds me a lot of Golden Boy. Hey, what's up, Tony? I think you just got home from work, right?
I did. I think I'm live. Am I live?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
sir.
always,
Welcome
man.
in.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Just watching these Halo games. I don't know if you had a chance to check them out. They have been pretty intense.
I've been watching the whole time. I was at work. I didn't get anything done. Watching the whole entire time. By the way, I think you guys went pretty far as well. So congratulations to the both of you. Freaking coaches, casters, competitors, anything these guys can't do.
I mean, yeah, if pretty far means double first rounded, we went super far, bro. We went the furthest.
Oh, he's coming in here. He felt dangerous today.
No, it's my fault. I keep thinking you're Heart of the Cards because of your Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm so. I keep thinking. I was looking at Heart of the Cards. Either way, I've seen you guys play before. You guys competed before at a high level and whatnot, and I'm sure it's just a one-off, but just tough bracket.
Sorry. There we go. Hey,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I won't take offense. Check your DMs later tonight. I'm not gonna say bad words to you about.
I feel like such a jerk now.
But no, we're in it. We're seeing Rising 8, man. We saw a dominating performance in the Strongholds where they won off a substantial trip cap. And once again, it seems like they're putting points on the board. But this thing about Fissure, man, it can be hard. For how open this map is, it can be so hard to play that ball. They're able to get it off at the last second as Hunter JJX completes the collapse with his team. But yeah, it's not looking great for this last minute roster yet, but we know that the talent is there for them to turn on the turbojets at any moment and get back into the game.
All right, it's looking like that overshield is going to drop, and we see blue team coming in, just taking out Hunter as he's waiting there by himself, and now they're going to have control of that. And I'm liking that we see Hunter pick up this carbine. I think the DMR and the carbine on this map are very important to pick up, especially if you're just rotating through the lobby. You're right in between both of them right here, so you might as well grab it, help your team. It's so dominant to shut down the top mids and shooting across the tree houses or the plats on this map. We're gonna see if red team can finally get some points on the board here, as they do have 2 down and they have their Nikes on. They're collapsing in, trying to get closer to the ball. They're gonna have to slay out one more time possibly. As Floppy does get a kill. This is huge here. They're getting some time on the ball, and it looks like they have red side of the map completely locked up. Some slays do come down. We're going to see if they can lock this up here, this whole red side, and now it looks like they're going down. They're going to have to slay this out or go for a play ball, or free time is going to be given to blue team here.
And look at that. Betts finds the kill on Nikolai, and Hunter JJX, man, he has to make a decision. Is he going to go for the slays or is he going to go for the play? Unfortunately, neither are happening. Slays nowhere to be found. Okay, someone just throws themselves off the.
Oh, wow.
Airway. That is a critical mistake, right? You're up by 50, and then you make a play like that. Just get it off the map. There, his teammate's there to get the ball. He finds Hunter JJX. So great cleanup from him. But man, that was a dangerous spot, going for the ninja. And we just saw never mind, we're going back in. 8-56. ball is in control of Rising 8. We've just seen it consistently, man. Rising 8 is just, they're looking a bit better than this last minute roster. Possibly because, you know, this roster was made at the last minute, but we know the talent's there. We're just waiting for it to be bloomed.
I will say I'm really happy to see what Rising 8 is doing right now, because I mean this is a squad that we've seen variances before, but I don't think I've ever seen them playing this good. Like beating a squad like last minute, this is a confidence boost right here. Now Hunter has an overshield enhanced. That's not gonna bring confidence here very much. But either way, 78 lead in favor of Rising 8, and they look like they might 3-1 in this series.
And I just got word from the admins in the back. Golden Dawn just went to a 3-2 victory, winning a Game 5 Slayer that went down to the wire. So congratulations to them. They'll be moving on in our bracket. But so far, man, last minute, their tournament life is on the line right now as 3 players for Rising 8 are there, and they're trying to get that ball. And man, it's just so hard for this last minute roster to break in. Laz, do you have any insight as to why last minute's just been having trouble getting this ball and getting a good solid chunk of time?
Kind of hard to tell just from the one perspective, but it seems like it could be timing. Just, you know, coming in together as a team, making sure they're working together. They did slay out blue team when they got some ball time there and had red side completely controlled, and blue team still was able to come in and slay out too, and they couldn't get that play ball. And then we saw, you know, they kind of gave the ball right back to Hunter JJX. So I want to see them start timing the pushes together a little bit more. Hunter did manage to get the last overshield for the team, so they do have the time on that, which is, it could really come into play here in the next like 45 seconds or so when it pops again. And they're getting some ball time here, bringing it back into the basic control. This is great. They do have a player top mid here. He could be an easy slay, or he could be able to flank. 2 go down now. This is the moment where you have to really try to play this ball or fight these guys. He's putting a lot of damage in, but unfortunately he does get pinched from behind on the landing, and that's going to just spell as more ball time for Rising 8.
I'm not happy with that play whatsoever. They had 4 up. They had the setup locked in, and then Betts is the first one to go down. Soon after that, 2 more. Hunter was left by himself. I mean, they had the setup down, but I mean, I'm sure you guys would agree, when you have, it's a 4v4 situation, you cannot be that first one to die, and let alone go 3 down.
Yeah, that player top center, and then no play ball as well, both times now.
Yeah, I think that's really been the big difference for last minute, man. It's like every time they get the ball, they're playing as if they're going to be able to hold the ball for 50 seconds. They have no concern on making sure they have quick exits with that ball. And it happened when, like Tony said, Betts went down. That ball carrier was standing right next to him on like the ramp in the middle where there was no quick escape. There was no quick exit. What we've seen from Rising 8 is they're so fast to play this ball. They're playing it in the plat. They're going underneath. I love that underneath spot where you're next to the DMR, where you're on that little walkway where there's a little bit of a play spot. We've seen Rising 8 consistently use that spot to play the ball. And we see the ball carrier, he goes down, he's ready to play the ball once again, and the ball gets played. And really, Rising 8 just showing what oddball takes. It takes knowing when you can and when you can't hold. Where last minute, they've given up probably 50, 60 seconds of time, I feel like, just by not getting the ball played when they've lost their slays.
Right, and it seems like you really have to get that slay to be able to make a play for that ball. But something else I'm not sure we've been seeing is there are ways to get scrappy ball time without getting slays, but I think you kind of have to get the ball and then thrust it over to the little ledges by the spirals. I'm not sure like really what that call out even is, but those little spiral edges, you can milk it there on the spiral if your team doesn't have a bunch of slays, because it's hard to get the ball all the way across. But I'm not sure if I've really seen that play happening as well. 10 seconds left here for Rising 8 to secure this win and lock in their 3-1. We're going to see if last minute can make a last minute push. 2 seconds left. It's not looking good for them. And that's it.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the communication on Rising 8 squad was on point. And you got to make sure, I mean, you got to be good communicators. You got to always make sure that you're being heard. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to be heard at home, make sure you guys drop in your tweets, hashtag H5 Pro Series. Not sure if you noticed, but throughout the tournament, there'll be some tweets that just happen to pop up on the screen here. So if you guys want to be heard, drop that hashtag H5 Pro Series. And I promise, there it is, one right there. I promise you, if it's a good one, we'll put it up on the board. I vet every one of these, so it better be a good tweet. Better be a good one.
I want to see someone talking some heat, man. I want to see someone creating some controversy. Get the tag going, man. I want to see what the people's thoughts are at home. Hey, look at that. Thank you. Okay, I love Jay, man. He's great.
Good looking dude.
Good looking dude. Absolutely. You guys want to be featured? Make sure you go use that hashtag H5Pro.